You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Don't hit my friends.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Anyway, this week we're reviewing The Wolverine, which was recommended by one of our listeners. The only problem is we don't know who it was.
They called it on a Razor or some other type, shitty phone. Good, decent movie choice though. It could be worse.
Could have been worse.
So this is the Hugh Jackman Screamfest Wolverine, 2013. Yes, not up for an Oscar.
Nothing. No cinematography or special
not
effects or best screenplay.
Best adaptation of his screenplay. No.
Damn. We're reviewing the film Wolverine, and if you were like me, were you able to see the Unleashed extended edition, or did you see the...
Yes, I was.
Okay, good.
I was so fortunate to watch the extended Unleashed edition of Wolverine. Now, can I start the ball rolling just to say that now who did the last Wolverine film? Was that the same director?
That was Ratner. Mr. Rush Hour himself, Mr. What was it? Tower Heist.
Fucking Tower Heist.
So
and at least he made a film other than Rush Hour.
Well, you're talking about X-Men Part 3, or are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Wolverine film, the first Wolverine movie.
Oh, the Origins, Wolverine Origins.
Yes.
You know what? I don't know actually.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
The director was originally supposed to be
Darren Aronofsky.
Right, and he backed out or was drummed out because he wasn't going for the Hollywood vision of what a big blockbuster Wolverine film should be.
And that's also the reason why he didn't do Batman franchise.
Yeah, so
either he needs to get over himself, or he's right. And I'm probably leaning towards he's right.
Yeah, I think he's right. I think.
So, I mean, he's passing on these billion-dollar franchises, and it's like, come on, Darren, I'd really like you to make one of these. I really, really would. But
Did you look that up yet while we're talking?
Yeah. Gavin Hood directed X-Men Origins, and he's known for... The other films he's known for is Rendition, Tootsie, Tootsie.
Okay.
It's a Japanese. No, it's not Japanese. It's that had accolades left and right. Then he did X-Men Origins, and then he did Ender's Game with Harrison Ford.
All right. Now, I was just curious because this director, this is James Mangold, and he did a couple things I liked. Some stuff I shouldn't like. Actually, he did two films that I shouldn't like, but actually did like. Kate and Leopold, and Night and Day.
I love Night and Day. Love Night and Day.
It's such a fun fucking movie. Fuck everybody that's down on Tom Cruise. It's just Tom Cruise being boyishly humorous and great comic timing and fun. It was everything that Mr. and Mrs. Smith wasn't.
Exactly. We reviewed Night and Day. That was episode 98, I want to say, of Moviesucktastic. And Scott and I we laid into the film, not laid into the film, it's wrong, poor choice of words. We really dug into the film as far as reviewing it, and it's just, like Scott said, it's a lot of fun. Whenever it's on, it's one of those films, and it shouldn't be. For me, it's one of those films, if it's on, I'm watching it. You know, I have a very short list of films that when they're on, I have to watch it. And that just happens to be one of them.
Yeah, so, I mean, just to point out, we're not trashing these guys just because they made Wolverine films. They've done some stuff. I'm not saying it's not a badly directed film either. It just comes down to...
No.
Here's my basic... here's the gist of what I'm getting at. With the Wolverine Origins, when it came out, besides the fact that they fucked up Deadpool beyond recognition, a lot of people complained, a lot of fans complained that they started off the film with this montage of Wolverine and Sabretooth during wartime as soldiers. And they gave us this great little tease of these two, beasts fighting in wars, and then spent the rest of the movie goofing off with jackass shit with like Gambit and other bullshit. And so they heard the fans complaining, saying, "Hey, you're showing us all this cool stuff about war, and then the rest of the film's just garbage." And they went ahead and corrected that by doing the exact same thing again in the new Wolverine film. Nice little peek at the beginning. Oh, look, Wolverine during the wars. This is fucking awesome. The internment camps and the Japanese and
that opening scene was awesome.
Yeah, and you're like, oh wow, this is great. Now we get to spend an hour and a half watching Wolverine mope around, bleed, and fight ninjas. What the fuck, ninjas? What is this? 1978? Ninjas?
Samurai.
They were ninjas. Fuck that. At the end,
yeah,
ninjas.
They were ninjas.
Yeah, I'm down with the samurai ninjas. Okay. It's like almost every other superhero film these days, where the whole movie's just, I don't want to, I'm tired of being immortal or super powered, and I wish I was, weak and frail and human like you, and then of course, 3/4 away is like, fuck that. What was I thinking? I'm the fucking Wolverine.
One of the most believable parts of the film.
Yeah, I think I'm done with this, hurting
what
shit.
kind of monster are you? I'm the Wolverine, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, of course. Just
of course.
The bitch part. But yeah, you're right. It starts off, like you said, wartime. When that B-29 hits and that mushroom cloud forms, and they run in that, they jump down that manhole all the way at the bottom, and he puts that piece of metal on him, and when he takes it off, Wolverine is fucked up. He looks like your worst fucking nightmare, like how burnt he is, and it's awesome. He just looks so fucked up. It looks awesome. And then he heals like almost immediately. And it's just like, yeah, that's a fucking Wolverine. And it kind of fades out of that. It fades out of that. And he's all mopey and shit, because this kind of takes place after X-Men 3, The Last Stand. After he...
Yeah.
Because at the end of that film, he kills Jean. Because she goes,
yeah.
What was that? I forget the storyline for that.
It doesn't. It went from the comic book?
Yeah.
Oh, gives
it's
shit.
like where she comes back, but she's evil. She's gonna. Fuck, Chris knows.
Like the Dark Phoenix, I think it's called. Something.
I think you're. Yeah, that's what it was. Well, anyway, they use that storyline, and they fuck it up.
Well, and they use it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he kills her at the end of that film. And, I mean, that might be a spoiler alert, but if you watch this movie, it's mentioned, in this.
I don't care about... I'm waiving the spoiler alert need for this movie, because when you're watching a film where at the beginning it's like, oh, Wolverine, you must come. This person whose life you saved like 50, 80 years ago, he's dying and he wants to, see you now. And there's this rich conglomerate guy and he meets him. And if you're in the audience and not thinking to yourself, so this is the bad guy who's in a fight at the end, right? If that's not occurring to you during that conversation you first had with him, then you just shouldn't be watching films. You should be, floating glass somewhere.
When the trailer came out, I think I might have even written it on the Facebook, our Moviesucktastic Facebook. But after watching the trailer, I was like, okay, old guy dying. He wants Logan, says he can make him mortal. Obviously, he's dying. He wants... I mean, you can predict everything from the trailer. That's how bad it is as far as predictability goes.
What's this? A rich guy fucking people over? Aghast. How do they ever come up with this in Hollywood? It's just genius. This is a twist I never would have seen coming.
20 minutes, half an hour in, he, apparently dies. If you don't know at that moment that he's not dead, you're right. You shouldn't be watching film. If you're at the end of the film surprised,
go back and read comic books. That's where you should work your way up, because that's where you're supposed to actually. I can understand if you're reading comic books. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, if at the end of the film you're surprised he's not dead, you shouldn't watch film.
Yeah, if you wanted to make a film about Wolverine dealing with mortality and, leaving people behind and not wanting to be different anymore, what better film could you have had than to have him being at Hiroshima at the dropping of the bomb and, trying to survive in the wasteland and seeing the after effects? There's your fucking movie. Holy shit. But maybe I'm trying to make it too much of an adult film and ignoring...
You know who would have made that movie?
Aronofsky.
He would have made some sort of... He would have made a film, maybe not exactly what you're saying, but it would have been dark. It would have been fucked up. It would have been... That's just the only type of film Aronofsky makes. Mm-hmm. Even his studio film, like his big one, what was that, The Fountain?
Oh, yeah.
It had a real budget. It was Hugh Jackman. Obviously, they have a rapport. So it would have been perfect.
Don't get me wrong though. If he made Wolverine like the Fountain, it would have bombed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect most. I honestly, The Fountain's a film I don't recommend to many people because you have to be the kind of person willing to watch a film that just doesn't care if you understand or not.
Yeah.
I don't find it especially I didn't find it especially complicated film, but it's like Cloud Atlas. People that couldn't handle that. There are certain films that just don't give a shit if you're not up to keeping track. It's like, oh, you know what? We're not going to explain it twice. It happened. That's it. Move on. So and you're having trouble following the weaving plot lines. Well, then maybe you should fucking learn how to think on a different level because we don't care. And I can definitely see Aronofsky doing something like that with a Wolverine Hiroshima film.
Right.
And it wouldn't make any money. It would be awesome. It would be wonderful, but no one would go to see it. Your core audience would be like, I don't understand this. Why is It
might be one of the 10 nominated Best Pictures too. knowing Aronofsky, and then we wouldn't be having a conversation of this film shouldn't be fucking nominated. This film is shit. How the fuck did this get in here?
Yeah. Holy shit! Did you know that screenwriter for the Wolverine?
Yeah.
Guess what? Mark Bombeck. Guess what else he's worked on? Total Recall, 2012 remake.
Wow, look at that. So there's a connection, even though we didn't ask for one.
Oh, there's a connection, all right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, now the screenplay. The screenplay. Yeah, okay. Scott Frank, the other screenwriter, he worked on Marley and Me, so fuck him. No excuse. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse.
None.
So he's a hack. The Wolverine's not what I would say is a bad movie.
No.
If you pay to go see a Wolverine film,
better than Origins.
Yeah, because you don't have Deadpool to fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's now. Then again, you do have Jean Grey playing Harry from Dexter.
Yeah.
Every 15 minutes, he's having fucking imaginary dream conversations.
Might I say, her tits look fabulous. That one shot of her in the bed, where she's got boob cleavage because she's on her side.
What other kind of cleavage?
Fabulous.
What do you mean boob cleavage? That's what cleavage is.
Yeah, no, it's like this special type of cleavage for when you're on your side. You know, you get normal cleavage, but when you're on your side, you get much more of it.
All right, but then we can call it side cleavage. Boob cleavage is like redundant.
Side cleavage? Okay, I can live with that.
It's not side boob; it's side cleavage. Or how about horizontal cleavage? There you go.
Horizontal cleavage. I'd like to give her the horizontal cleavage.
I'm sure I know you would.
Anyway,
yeah, her great. She has breasts, but why the fuck is she in dream sequences every 15 minutes with Wolverine? And why? Yeah. Oh, but I don't want to leave you. Is that what's going on, lovers? Oh, come on! Can't he just like it's not like it's good enough if he is just angsty or brooding by itself. He has to be brooding towards someone that is dead. So we get I get it. He's upset because she's dead. How are we going to show that? Because every 15 minutes or so, he's going to tell her he's upset because she's dead. Well, how do we do that? Well, it'll be a dream sequence, and he'll know. We'll know now. Well, that way we'll know. I can give a fuck, really. And there's enough going on in the film. It's like it's the weirdest fucking subplot ever. The subplot with him arguing with Jean Grey's ghost.
Yeah. Now I'm on the wiki page. And it said, well, no, I'm just looking at like development stuff. It said that they brought in Christopher McQuarrie. Does that ring a bell?
That does sound familiar.
Okay, Christopher McQuarrie. He is the writer of The Usual Suspects. He wrote that film.
Okay.
Directed written and directed The Way of the Gun.
Like that.
All right. So they brought him in to. He was hired to write the screenplay for Wolverine, and what ended up happening was he went uncredited. So I have no idea how much of him is in this movie.
If he's uncredited, not enough.
Like he probably wrote that opening, and that's probably where it ended with him.
Now, and as far as screenwriting goes, the rules are so strict these days that as long as you contribute to it, even if there's nothing left, you still get like a story by credit. As a writer, especially like a big Hollywood film like this, if you have uncredited attached to you for contributing to that screenplay, that's because you wanted it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's unless someone wants to contradict me on that. I mean, you see enough films with 5 or 6 people with screen credits, and it goes down to story by, because by the end of it, it's like, well, you know what? It started with us, so we get some fucking credit, and the Writers Guild is very strict about that. Yeah, if he's uncredited for that, that's because he said, I'm good, really. No, you go, you run with that.
It also says here that Bryan Singer was initially offered to do this film, and he turned it down. Which is ironic because he's now doing X-Men, Future Past? Which is, it's a new...
Oh, that looks atrocious.
Yeah, I'll hold my reservations till I see it, just because...
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, just because Bryan Singer, X-Men, and X-Men 2 are just really, really good. As far as, they really kicked off, they really kicked off the comic book film X-Men in 2000 was the first comic book film that was it was really, really good. You saw it and it was like, holy shit, they finally did a comic book film right.
Spider-Man? There's a Spider-Man.
Spider-Man came out in 2002.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, X-Men comes out.
Yeah.
X-Men comes out and it's great. And it just came out of nowhere. No one expected it to be as good as it was. And, then it kicked off everything. Spider-Man comes out, and no one was really expecting that to be great, and it was. And then the following year, X-Men 2 comes out, and that's, in my opinion, even better than the first X-Men film. And it really kicked off, everything as far as, the reason why we're getting such good comic book films now is, I truly believe, because of X-Men. It really kicked it off. So when I hear that he's doing another X-Men film after not directing X-Men for 10, 11 years, I want to give him a chance. I do. Because when I saw the trailer for this, I thought it looked like utter garbage. And yeah, it's not a great film, but I didn't hate it. So at least there's that.
Now, and please watch that trailer again and tell me that the next X-Men film is not going to suck balls. But you know what? Me coming from this as I've never been a Marvel fan to begin with, so when it comes to the melodramatic storyline, Chris Claremont storylines with fucking young, you're losing me as an audience, and that's not really. That's really my fault more than anybody else's. But
yeah, I think the only thing I really read, comic book wise, from on the Marvel side was Spider-Man, just because and it's Punisher too.
Punisher.
I was never as heavy into the Punisher as I probably should have been. I did have some crossover comics with Spider-Man and Punisher, which I always liked, but that was kind of it for my Marvel side. Everything was usually just DC.
Yeah, no, me too.
DC always had the better characters, had the better storylines, darker storylines, and it's it's the way it over.
Well, darker in some ways, but in a lot of ways, Marvel was always the melodramatic soap opera brooding side, where DC was a bit more lighthearted and a bit more, we're still having fun here, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe I'm a bad, just like our friend of the show, John Dimes, would say, maybe we're not a good audience for this type of film because we don't want to see, ninjas hopping from rooftop to rooftop and, just the big fucking robot at the end. And tell me this. So if the old guy builds a robot specifically designed to suck the marrow out of Wolverine, which doesn't make any sense. All right, I was going to say it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But if that's what the reason he's doing all this in the first place, why is Wolverine running around for the whole film? And then they somehow lure him to the castle by trying to prevent him from going to the castle.
Yeah, why don't
what part of that makes sense?
Well, if they just intended to do that, how come they just didn't do it at any point in like the 3 times they knock him out?
Yeah.
There's like 3 times in the film where he gets knocked out. And one of them is at the very beginning of the movie when he goes to visit him in Japan, when he's already, and that's where they implant that thing on his heart that makes him mortal. It's like, why didn't they he's mortal at that point. Just strap him down. Let's get it over with.
Semi-mortal. Yeah.
Mortal enough. Let's put it this way. It would have been easier to extract bone marrow at that point than when he's invincible at the end.
Right. But... And again, so they leave him out there where he can actually be hurt and everything. But if at the end Wolverine being alive is essential to his plot to become immortal, then why the fuck are they letting him wander around the city with people trying to kill him while he's got these things in him that are making him like vulnerable? Right. Where's the sense in that? There is none, I argue.
Yeah, they just lead him around the whole film. I mean, if they didn't. And the movie, the extended version, is 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I was there.
It's crazy. Now, I haven't looked at the theatrical cut. How long is that? All right, the theatrical is 2 hours and 6 minutes. Extended is 2 hours and 18. So there's 12 extra minutes added back into the... That's a lot added back into the film. And I was kind of hoping that there would be more swearing and blood and violence in the extended, because it's called the Unleashed Extended Edition, and there really isn't.
Well, because what they do is, what they don't tell you is that, okay, yeah, it's going to be 20 minutes longer and we got an R. So, like, all right, you got the R, you got the PG-13 because you cut out maybe 50 seconds of blood, and the rest of it's just shit you cut out for pacing because it drags the film down.
Right. And, of course, they're always thinking of how many extra showings can we fit in by cutting back 12 minutes.
This isn't like the old days where horror films came out as a PG, and then when you finally got the R version, it's like 10 solid minutes of fucking just viscera splashing against walls. No, this is just, oh yeah, we trimmed out about 50 seconds of blood splatter because it hurt, it bothered the sensibilities of the the mainly Mormon background of the MPA, and then everything else is just shit we cut out because, well, it's fucking boring. But you guys at home enjoy. So you guys at home can fast forward to that if you want, but it's there.
Another thing that I found annoying, and it annoys me every time they do this. They dubbed Viper's voice. The woman that plays her, they synthesized her voice, made it deeper, whatever they did. It's weird. And it's always weird because whenever they do that, it never matches the person. Like, you never believe, at least me, I never believed for 1 second that she sounded like that. They did such a bad job dubbing her voice. It's like what they did with What's-Her-Face in... oh, fuck. We reviewed it, too. The film that we reviewed with... here, I'll get it. It's the one
yeah, you were bitching about that for that film, too.
Yeah.
Haywire?
Haywire. Thank you.
Yeah. Which we didn't review. We didn't review that. We talked about it, but we didn't review it.
No, I thought we did.
No, we talked about it.
It's definitely wallpaper on our podcast.
Is it?
On our page. Yeah.
I don't care.
I care enough to look.
I don't recall us reviewing it. I remember you complaining about that.
I think we did review it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we did. But yeah, no, they dubbed her voice, and I hate it when they do that because it never fits. You know, it's very rare that they'll do it and it fits, and it just didn't in this, and it just, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we didn't review it.
Told you.
Hold on.
Ha.
I see the wallpaper, the movie poster in my head.
Maybe you're thinking of VHS.
Fuck you.
See how easy it is?
It's very easy. I'm not saying it's not easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to nitpick with a film like this because there's plenty of action in the film. So if you're in it for the action, that's great. And
right.
Visually, again, it's not poorly directed. There's no reason to really knock the director for the film. It's not like Bryan Singer, who's a fucking cock. Not Bryan Singer. I meant the Rush Hour guy, Ratner. Yeah, Ratner can blow me.
Ratner.
Yeah, but it's a pretty movie. He does very well with the visuals of Japan, and it's nice to have something happen where it's not in California. That's always a plus. But again, Jean Grey popping up every 15 minutes is as the star, as the dead lover. That gets kind of old really quick. Really quick. And then this whole kind of weird pseudo love affair with the rich guy's daughter, who he's trying to kill but not really. None of the plot line really makes a whole lot of sense when you. It's like a lot of the satanic ritual films we've reviewed, where the plot, like the mastermind's evil plans, don't really have much cohesion because it would have been simpler for him to just, like you say, the first half hour of the film, Wolverine comes to his house and falls asleep. He wakes up, chained to a bed. Oh, you're going to be there until I'm better and in a robot suit because then I can suck your marrow out. End of film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
And two things. One, we did review Haywire.
God damn it.
It was episode 87. We reviewed that and Rubber, that episode.
Oh, that's why, because it was a twofer.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
that's why.
Two, speaking of satanic rituals and things of that nature.
Yes.
Are you watching the new TV show on HBO called True Detective?
No.
I know I strayed away a bit from that, but Matthew McConaughey is fucking phenomenal in that.
I'm a huge McConaughey fan when he's not in a romantic comedy.
He is not anywhere near that for this show. So, are we done with Wolverine? We haven't talked about it in like 30 minutes.
I was going to say, anyway, Wolverine, what's with those ninjas?
So, didn't hate it.
But nothing really stands out except for
the
potential that could have been of a Hiroshima Wolverine.
Yeah. I mean, even put him in the fucking robe or whatever the fuck that's called. They put him in that, and it's like, is he going to be Ninja Wolverine now?
Yeah, man, I just...
Where he ties it wrong, and she's like, you did it wrong. And he's just like, all right, fix it.
Oh, I have to learn your culture now. Yeah, I can do without the now let me assimilate to your culture scene. It's like watching Sean Connery fucking with the slant eyes in that one James Bond film. Yeah. You just you blend right in. That's it. Put on the robe. That's it. You're now part of the culture. Can we just go on to killing people, or do we want to play house for another half hour?
Mm-hmm.
That's no, but there's nothing remarkable about the film as far as like, oh, I can't believe they did this, or and again, some of the more ludicrous scenes, the 5-minute fight sequence on top of the bullet train. Okay.
Oh, right.
Oh, look, he's flying. Just it's not bad. It's just really not remarkable. And that's the sad thing. All of these blockbuster budgets now, more and more of them are, okay, you did everything I expected you to do with a CGI budget in the 6 figures. Beyond that,
Actually, it's what 9 figures? It'd be 9 figures, right?
Whatever.
I think it's 9 figures.
Speaking of simple math.
Yeah. Anyway. Let's go ahead and rate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Daredevil. Let's be fair.
Yeah, let's be fair. All right, so it's 6.8 on IMDb.
Yes.
7 is too high. I think 6 would be appropriate. I think lower than that would be unfair.
I would only say 6 instead of 7 because the opening sequence once again shows the lost potential of we have a cool idea here, but instead let's stick with the Chris Claremont storyline or whatever the fuck. I don't know if Chris Claremont was involved with that Wolverine saga, probably not. But excuse me. Wow, that was uncalled for.
You mean Macquarie?
Huh?
Did you mean Macquarie?
Did
Chris
I?
Macquarie? Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Claremont.
Talk about the comic books.
Oh.
Talk about the comic books. The comic book writer.
Fine.
These are based on comic books. The storylines from a comic book series. So that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
But all I'm saying is, the missed potential of what could have been instead of just the same old. Okay, now he's gonna fight fucking ninjas, and guess the villain at the end is the twist guy from the beginning, and he's in a giant robot costume because that doesn't get old. I would say 6 is definitely a good call.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Sorry. That was my long form. Yes, Joey.
And I didn't give you shit for it. Unlike someone I know.
The short form of that would have been half the time, but it still wouldn't have been yes, Joey. So 6?
6 is good. I like 6.
Okay. 6
Me
it
and
is.
My family were looking for 6.
European Vacation.
There you go. I didn't even have to ask. I just knew you knew.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and end the show.
Yes.
Let's do that, and we'll tell everyone what they need to know.
Because I haven't recorded that ending yet. Yes.
That's okay. What is going on?
I'm working on my final packet, sir. After this weekend, I will get the stuff I promised you done. I promise. The show.
Good.
Productivity. I'm working on the new app for us. Please.
Yes, it's beautiful. I can't wait to participate in that. I'm going to play with that a little bit tomorrow. All right, this is episode 133 of Moviesucktastic. As always, we thank you for joining us. Please go to our iTunes page and download our shows there. Subscribe. Every time there's a new one posted, you'll just automatically get it. You can leave us reviews. We appreciate that always. You can go to our website at moviesucktastic.com and you can download all of our shows there. You can listen to them on the site, or you can watch us live through our video feed. You can also do that at livestream.com/moviesucktastic. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviesucktastic. You can go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. You can email us, themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. 908-514-4470. You can do a search for us in a web browser. Anyone that you like. Any search engine. Google. Yeah. Just do a search for Moviesucktastic.
Don't pretend that's not the one everybody's using. Google.
That is the one everyone uses. But, you give people choices. Anyway, you can do that and you can find us anywhere. So that's about it. Next week we're going to do Leonard Part 6. Check out next week's episode for that. You got any wisdom?
Look, kids. Big Ben. Parliament.
Very good. All right. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.